Freestyle Travel. Hey everybody, Kenny Flannery here, as always, your host of the Freestyle Travel Show. And I'm recording this roundabout in San Diego, California. Having a good time, catching up with some friends, and gearing up for the Trip Hopping Collective. This episode I'm going to tell you about getting from where I was in the last episode, which was Wyoming, down through Utah and into California via Nevada, getting kicked out of a casino again in good old Reno, but having a good time along the way, seeing some friends, and yeah, making my way eventually to the next stop, which is Phoenix for the Trip Hopping Collective. I'll be heading there the day after tomorrow. Pretty excited about that. Once again, semi-open invite to anyone listening. If you want to get involved with trip hopping, reach out to me. Particularly during this month of October, we will be able to host a small amount of people in person. So if you're coming through Phoenix this October, depending on what you're interested in helping with, you might be able to stay for a little bit, or we might be able to host people for a night or two here or there. If you're just traveling and just want to pop in and say what's up, that'd be cool too. So yeah, if you're willing to do a little research, or if you actually have like some design skills or coding skills even, yeah, let me know. We're going to try to be doing a little bit of promotion too, trying to get some travel meetups going on around the world, reaching out to people. On technical side of things, I'll be getting the iOS app working, which I don't really need any help with, but I'll be getting that done, and a couple other technical things on the site. Should be a good time. Should be brewing some beer. One of the first days that I arrived there, so if you're there early, you can get involved in brewing some beer. If you're there later, you can get involved in drinking some beer. At least one of them. I've got a feeling we'll probably brew two, maybe like a quick turnaround IPA using Kvike or something, so it's ready in like a week or so. And then Larry and I really love to brew these big old stouts, so that will not be one that'll be ready in October, but we'll brew it. A little commemorative brew. So yeah, I'm getting excited for that, but let me jump into the episode here, and you can email me at kennyflannery@triphopping.com or via any social media stuff if you're into the collective. But yeah, let me catch you up on my travels from Wyoming down into Utah and so on, getting all the way down here to Southern California. Let's get into it. All right, so Wyoming was a good time. Caught up with the fam a little bit, and yeah, got a bunch done on trip hopping and just sort of enjoyed some Melvin Brewery beers. Pretty close by there, and yeah, time finally came to make my way out of there. And my buddy in Salt Lake, he said not only could I come kick it, but he was going to be going to Yellowstone for a long weekend, and said it would be helpful if I could come like watch the dogs too. So I was like, yeah, I could definitely do that. So it was pretty good timing for all involved. So I hitchhiked down there, pretty straightforward. There was like a fire on the way around like the Idaho border, so kind of got rerouted. Pretty smoky hitchhiking. I got a ride from these two guys who first said they were going to Salt Lake, but they kind of meant like near Salt Lake. So they ended up dropping me off like an hour north of Salt Lake, but they got me the bulk of the way there. This really cool guy picked me up, super nice guy. He had to pick up his stepdad. They were actually going to Salt Lake, and that dude gave me $100 off the bat. He's like, I just love what you're doing. That's pretty cool, and here's some travel money. I was like, oh, fuck yeah. Pretty incredible. Super nice, and he was down to drop me off wherever, so he dropped me off in the perfect spot for my buddy Cam to come pick me up. And then, spent some days linking up down there, catching up with him and his wife down there in Salt Lake. I always love going down there. I love hanging out with him. And he was working from home mostly, so I just kind of did the same and got a bunch done on trip hopping. Some kind of fun stuff, actually. I was in the shower thinking about an idea that I'd had for a while, which I thought would be kind of funny, which was like to take someone's profile picture. So if they search for a certain location on trip hopping, I could then use their profile picture and generate an image of them in that location, like doing the kinds of things that they say they're into on their profile. And like a new generative AI model kind of came out somewhat recently that I was like, I think that might actually make that pretty easy to do. So like, it was one of those things where I just thought about it in the shower in the morning and then just that day just knocked it out. Pretty cool little feature. It's only available to a few people just because it costs a little bit to do every generation. But it works and it's pretty cool. So you can just like search like, I don't know, Paris, and it might show you next to the Eiffel Tower. It might show you painting a picture in the Louvre or something. I don't know. It just depends what you have on your profile. Kind of funny. Just a goofy feature. Not like super useful or anything, but it's kind of funny. So I don't know. I was doing stuff like that in Salt Lake, and then yeah, watched his dogs while they were up in Yellowstone, getting some more done. And he got back, and I was like, all right, time to head west, head towards California. And it looked like I could get 5 free nights in Reno, which is significantly more than halfway, but on the way to Sacramento and Chico, which were my next destinations. So Cam dropped me off on the highway. I got one short, quick little ride, and then a truck driver got me the rest of the way, all the way to Reno. Hopped out literally, like, you know, that exit right by the casinos, if you've ever been there. Pretty cool truck driver there. And yeah, got down to the casino, checked in, and luckily it was all cool. I don't really have like, I don't know, I've gotten free stuff from Vegas and Harrah's and all those different casinos over the years, but you know, status or whatever, all that stuff fluctuates. So sometimes they'll say they'll give me free rooms or something, but then you still have to pay like the resort fees, which can be as much as like $50 a night, which is not free and basically not doable most of the time, depending on my finances. So it seemed like they were going to waive that resort fee, and then sure enough, they did. So I was like, because I was prepared to like get there and check in and then them tell me that I had to pay that and then be like, okay, I'm leaving. No, it worked. So yeah, I was there for the first night, and then the second day I was kicking it, trying to cash in some of the free play that they give me. That ended up getting me like 30, 40 bucks or something like that, and played a little bit of blackjack, and I'm like, all right, let me win just enough money to go to the brewery nearby and pop in, grab a beer, and then come back and watch like the start of the football season, maybe back at the casino. And yeah, grabbed a beer and was just like talking to the bartender, and she was pretty cool, and she just got back from Spain, and she ended up giving me a free beer, wouldn't let me pay for the second one, and I was like, all right. She's like, there's trivia and stuff going on here later, and they had the TVs, so I'm like, all right, maybe I'll go watch the first half of this game back at the casino or something, and then come back there and watch the rest. So yeah, just started drinking pretty heavily at that point. Got back to the casino, and you drink for free when you're gambling, so I found a spot like right at the sports book, and they had some revision beers, some IPAs. I was drinking a few of those, and then there was a brewery halfway between the brewery and the casino, which was new, and she told me it was probably not that good, and she was kind of right, but it was like a rooftop bar, and sat down there, and there was these couple girls next to me, and they started flirting and got me a shot, and had a couple beers there, and then yeah, kind of barely remember getting to Lead Dog finally that night. I'm like pretty sure I did get there, but barely remember that at all, except for doing more shots, which is, you know, probably not ideal. I don't think I really ate that day. If I did, I don't remember what I ate. So not eating and a shit ton of beers mixed with shots can make you forget what happened. So that's kind of what happened. I don't really remember the whole experience there and leaving. Next thing I do remember, some security guard giving me a hard time, and me kind of laughing with him, but him not really laughing back with me. And then next thing I remember is 2 security guards and being up in my room and them watching me pack up my shit and asking me to leave. I do remember saying like, are we sure that we need to do this? Like, maybe we can all just take a deep breath and like, maybe I don't leave. And they're like, or maybe you do. I'm like, all right, Shit. So I kind of remember that, packing everything up. God damn it. Next thing I sort of remember, I was like in these elevators in the bottom of the hotel that don't go all the way up, not totally remembering if I did get kicked out or not, thinking it was a possibility, but I'm like, am I sure I got kicked out? I had my hotel room key in my pocket, but those stupid elevators go from like, they just go between like 3 floors, like the lobby and the parking garage, and I was kind of like just wackily going up and down, confused, like, how do I get to the next level of elevators? And finally I did, and I shot up all the way to like the 32nd floor. Went down the hallway to my room, and sure enough, the key did not work to my room anymore. So as soon as that happened, I was like, all right, I definitely got kicked out of here, which means I need to get out of here quick because they probably spotted me at this point. And that's not good, because if they officially kicked me out, then that would mean I was now trespassing. I know that from experience in Vegas. So I quickly went down the hallway, got back on the elevator all the way down, and at that point I knew the route to get out as quickly as possible to the street, and that's what I did. And yeah, kind of don't remember what happened exactly after that either. I do remember waking up right above the freeway, behind a fence, camped out, you know, just had my sleeping bag on, no bivvy. I'm like, okay, you know, I was hidden, but not, as soon as I like got up and packed up, I'm like, that's a high ass fence with barbed wire. I'm like, how did I get into wherever this is? And then I like kind of walked up the steep hill, and then I saw behind another gate there's a bunch of dudes standing around by a car, and there's like a neighborhood. I'm like, all right, not going that way. Realized I was in somebody's backyard, more or less. And I'm like, how the hell did I get in here? I'm like, the actual spot where I was laying was, you know, hidden enough. But I'm like, I don't know how there's no way I would have climbed that fence. Like, not with the barbed wire and all that. Not even drunk, you know? So finally I'm like, I think I just need to like walk through the actual backyard and up those steps and hope that no one sees me and hope that there's like a easy way out. And so that's what I did. I just kind of marched through very quickly and confidently, and sure enough there was a gate, and luckily it was unlocked, and I was able to exit the property, get on the street, and once I turned the corner I felt a little bit better, and about not making someone's morning pretty awkward, including mine, any more than it needed to be. And yeah, just sort of blasted off into Reno. Did the old pocket check, trying to make sense of what happened. Found a cash out ticket for 41 bucks. I'm like, oh, nice. I wasn't missing any money. In fact, I had more money than I came with, plus this $41 ticket. I'm like, well, that's a good sign. But I'm like, now I got to go back and cash this. So luckily these 3 casinos are like kind of all the same. It's called the Row. And I'm like, I'll just go to a different one. So that's what I did. And I just marched in real quick, put the thing in the machine, got the money out, and exited right away, just in case I was on someone's radar. Like I said, I don't know exactly what happened. I'm not quite sure how that could have all gone down. Yeah, it's hard to even speculate. I don't know how I would have gotten into a situation where I was mouthing off to security guards, because it's not like there's any like traditional bars there, or I don't know. I haven't been going to live tables to gamble lately, so I wouldn't have gotten into some weird conversation with another person. I don't know. It's hard to say what went down, and to be honest, I wasn't really too worried about it. This was all like a free stay anyways, and it's just Reno. But I was like, all right, let me just think this through, keep it moving, make my way to California, maybe spend another night in Reno. And that's kind of what I did, is I just kind of like walked through Reno that day, just debating stuff, stopping in the grocery store, getting food here and there, and chilling out, taking a couple naps in a couple parks, just catching up on some sleep missed out on. Finally did camp out in a larger kind of park by the river, a nice little hidden spot. I'm like, all right, now I should get going and make my way towards Sacramento. So the idea was to go to Sacramento and see my buddy, who is in some kind of precarious situation since the last time I saw him, just like family stuff. I wasn't exactly sure what that was all about, but I wanted to go meet up with him one way or another. And yeah, finally got myself to the edge of Reno and was like, all right, I'll just get as kind of close as I can, see what happens. And this girl picked me up, real pretty, kind of looked like she might have been crying. Maybe she was, maybe she wasn't, but she picked me up and she was really nice and sweet, and said she would take me, I forget what town, but like kind of a next town over, maybe just as a favor or something, and then stopped for gas, and we were just talking a little bit more. And she was asking a little bit about my story, and I mentioned going to audio school back in the day, and she's like, I'm kidnapping you now. She's like, yeah, you got to meet my friend and see this like cafe studio thing she's got going on, and like, you just have to. So next thing I knew, we were just turning back all the way into Reno, back the way that I had walked for like a whole day, and past all the casinos. But yeah, she took me to her friend's place that was like a yoga studio / coffee shop / music studio, production space. Like, met her friend who was super cool, really good space. It had been open just this year, and yeah, just really cool people. I was like, all right, well, this is true. And she's like, yeah, if you need a couch to stay on tonight, you can crash on my couch. And she's like, there's also this like full moon DJ party kind of thing, listening party here tonight. You can do that. And she's like, and if not, I can take you to Truckee. She had to go to work real quick for a couple hours, a massage thing, I think. And she's like, yeah, so we'll get in touch later and you tell me what you want to do. So hung out there for a second, then I'm walking around Reno a little bit more, thinking, all right, what do I want to do here? Like, in a way it would seem obvious, like, cute girl, yoga situation, music, listening party, good vibes, place to stay. Kind of seems like a no-brainer, but part of me just like really wanted to find out what was going on with my friend in Sacramento, and it was like towards the end of the weekend, so I wasn't sure what the weekdays would be like, and I'm like, if this is my only window, I should really go see him now and make sure, you know, that happens. And plus I was still wildly hungover and just like, I don't know. So I was just kind of going back and forth like what I should do there. And then finally got to that time like, yeah, I got to go see my buddy in Sacramento one way or another. And yeah, she was cool. The girl, she did come and pick me up and took me to Truckee and just told me about some of the travels that she'd done. Maybe at some point, again, she wants to do some traveling. And fuck, the whole way we were like heading west, I was like, maybe I should have hung out with her for another day, because she seemed pretty damn cool. And I was like, all right, well, whatever. I've made my decision. This is it. So she dropped me off in Truckee, hung out for like a minute, and it was already getting close to sunset. So I'm like, I got to get moving. So got to an on-ramp, and I got a ride right at sunset from these three people who'd been on the water all day. They were coming up from Tahoe. They were going to Nevada City, like Grass Valley kind of area. And I just said, screw it, I'll just go all the way there with them. Because I'm like, no matter where I get to, it's going to be dark. Might as well be there instead of just some random turnoff. So I got there, and, you know, when it gets dark, kind of hitchhiking sort of over for the day. So, yeah, just kind of walked through Nevada City looking for a place to camp. Wondering if I'd try to hitchhike down to Auburn the next day, Sacramento, or kind of keep it moving towards Chico. Might have missed my window to see my friend because I didn't make it there in time. He said he had plans the next day at that point. I was like, all right, I'm not sure how this is going to work out. So camped out and woke up and just said, all right, I'll just go to Yuba City. It's the first football Sunday day of the year. So I caught a ride to Yuba City, found this like whatever sports bar. Kind of hung out there for a good chunk of the morning and the day, watching some games, thinking I would head up to Chico and maybe get back down to Sacramento after that. And I don't know, try to figure out a way to catch up with him. And also I was talking to my friends in Chico, and some were either out of town or doing other stuff or had people over, but I'm like, all right, whatever. I still gotta go up there, check in, even if I can't stay with anybody or for the night or anything. So I kind of got a later start because I was hanging out at that sports bar and got a couple rides. Some church guy picked me up and he's like, we got this gathering in Gridley if you want like something to eat and a drink real quick. So I was like, yeah, why not? So there's like a bunch of Jesus music on a stage in a park and a bunch of church people gathered up, but I got a couple hot dogs and a couple drinks, and it was already getting close to sunset again on this day, so I'm like, all right, I gotta go. So this dude and some other dude like were both praying at me at the same time, saying different prayers, like talking over each other. I'm like, all right. So they prayed me out of there, and I ended up getting stuck there for the night because I just waited too long. So I started walking down the road, and it was, watch the sunset, and then you got like a little less than an hour before it's totally dark, and the odds of getting a ride go way down. And unfortunately about this part of the state, it's just a lot of fields and orchards and stuff, and not a lot of like actual trees, not a lot of actual forest or anything, not a lot of places to tuck away and get hidden. So I was like walking back into town, seeing if I could find some kind of inefficiency, somewhere to camp out, and finally walked back down the road, and at last found this like sole tree to kind of hide behind, and got up early in the morning and hitched my way into Chico. Got a couple rides, one dude, and then this woman who took me right into town, and I was just hanging out, and hit up my one friend who said she had someone staying with her, but I was like, just hit her up, and I was like, I'll drop in at some point and just say hey real quick. And my thought was, I'd hit up some of the spots in Chico that I like, go say hey to her, go find a place to camp, and then maybe go down to Sacramento. So I ended up going to my favorite little burrito spot in town, one of them, Sierra Nevada, just checking in on the beers that they had, and then eventually walking to her place, saying hey, and then she said stay for dinner, and she's an amazing cook. You never say no to that. And she's like, all right, even though dude's in the room, you can sleep on the couch. And she's like, if you stick around to the weekend, I got this event that I'm doing. And she said it'd be real helpful if I hung out, and that the room would open up in a couple days anyways, and nothing wrong with the couch. Anyways, so stoked to do that. Happy to help her out and stick around and enjoy Chico a little bit more, and enjoy kicking it with her. She's one of my favorite people in the world, so obvious choice right there. She said the event was going to be pretty cool. It's like farm to table kind of dinner thing, so that's what I did. Ended up hanging in Chico for a little bit. If you've followed my stories over the years, that's one of the places I like to go to over and over. I used to go there and like trim weed, if not in Chico, in that general area. So I would sometimes go there for weeks at a time to make a couple $1,000 or more, and live off of that for the year, really. So Chico's just one of those towns where I know it fairly well. Got my spots, people's, stuff like that. So it was a good time, and helped her out with the dinner thing, and then I got a seat at one of the tables at the dinner. Got to hang out with the guys who make all the rice and have these ducks that eat up all the weeds and the bugs and stuff, and then they sell the ducks as well, and the ducks were on the menu. And then this other guy was using their rice to make sake, and he was there, so I was drinking a lot of sake. It was a great time. Altogether I was in Chico for over a week. Thought I was and that's how Chico usually goes. I go there for a day or two and wind up there for a week or two. Sometimes that's how it goes. So good times all together, and figured out I could go meet up with my buddy after work in downtown Sac. So that gave me like the whole day to hitchhike down there, which was easy because I hitched just one ride from a guy. Got to downtown Sac, waited around, and then I was able to catch up with my buddy. We bar hopped a little bit. He's drinking these weird NA beers. I don't know if you ever heard of these. Drinking hop water. But we bounced around, and I got to catch up on the drama of his last year, which isn't so great. His living situation has changed, and things are generally kind of fucked up, actually, right now for him. And it was just a story I had to hear in person. So wouldn't say I was looking forward to meeting up and hearing a story, but I was anticipating it. And so, yeah, got to hear the whole kind of story, and kind of a bummer, but yeah, got to catch up on that. And I figured I was going to camp somewhere near downtown, but I was actually able to crash at his dad's place on the floor for the night, and then get an early start back into downtown in the morning to keep on hitching south. So, you know, ultimately I'm trying to get to Phoenix in October for the collective. So my idea was to go south to LA, see my sister, and San Diego to see my longtime friends down here. That's where I am now. I made it. So yeah, that's what I did. From Sacramento became a little bit easier. Actually, Sacramento sucks, to be honest, for hitchhiking out of. So I had to do a bit of walking just to get to an on-ramp where you could actually stand and there's space to pull over. Some guy picked me up. This guy grew up in Afghanistan. He's actually an Uber driver. And he goes as far as like the Bay Area or whatever to, I don't know, get more profitable rides or whatever. But just happened to be an Uber driver. He didn't charge me or anything. He just pulled over, saw me. He was telling me about growing up in Afghanistan and what that was like, and coming over, and yeah, ended up dropping me on the north side of Stockton. And I waited at an on-ramp there for quite a while. And I was just about to like maybe take the walk an hour or two south to get to a better on-ramp when this guy picked me up. And yeah, almost right away, he's like, "You're hitchhiking all the way to LA? Why?" I'm like, "That's the way to get down there." He was going to the Bay Area. And he's like, "How about I just buy you a train ticket?" I was like, "If you want to." He's like, "Yeah, that's no problem." So he was cool. He grew up in Peru, at least until he was like 9 or 10. He's been back there a few times since. So we were just like talking travels and stuff. And we went to the wrong Amtrak station first and then to the other one. So got to know him a little bit, as much as you can get to know someone in about like 30 minutes. He was super cool. And just talking, and then we kind of lucked out because we got to the right Amtrak station, and it was like pretty busy there. There's a lot of people, and it's like, "Yes, one ticket to Los Angeles, please." And they're like, "There's one left." And he's like, "But it's running late." And then some dude behind like, "A little late, it's a lot late." I don't know. Everyone was kind of frustrated because the train was late. But that was in my favor because I guess it was supposed to have left like, it was the only train in the day, I think. It's supposed to have left half an hour earlier or something like that. So lucked out in my favor, and yeah, kind of a free, easy ride all the way down to LA. A little train and transfer to a bus in Bakersfield. And yeah, got to LA, and that's pretty much what I'm on now. So hung out with my sister, her boyfriend, kicked it for a few days. Pretty chill. Not a huge fan of Los Angeles, but I've always had friends that live there, or family that lives there. So usually when I'm in LA, it's just about catching up with whoever I'm catching up with, and once in a while I'll discover something new about LA that I may like or not. But this is a lot of just like kicking it in the apartment and catching up. Another football day. My sister's boyfriend's a big Chiefs fan and stuff like that, so we watch football all day there. Then finally got on down to San Diego, not too far from there. Easy for once. And then San Diego, actually La Mesa is where I'm at, just a little bit east of downtown San Diego, but not really by much. It's basically San Diego. And yeah, the two of my best friends that I grew up with, and they were my roommates right before I started traveling in New York. Now we're both living out here. So I've been catching up with them, drinking some decent beers. It is San Diego after all. Got to Modern Times yesterday and went to my buddy's bar. He's like a mixologist. So he's always been like a high-end bartender or whatever. He can pretty much get any bartending job he wants. And it's this like nice hotel in San Diego, lobby bar kind of thing. There's a pool there, there's a bowling alley there, and all this other junk. But he works at the fancy little cocktail lobby bar. So it was chill. Got a couple drinks there, and then yeah, that was just last night, and been catching up with both of them. And yeah, just it's been a pretty jam-packed month getting down here, and I think I'll be catching up with him once again tonight. I got all day tomorrow to be here in San Diego, and then Monday, one way or another, I will make my way to Phoenix, probably hitching the 8, but we'll see how it goes. Might catch up with another person or two while I'm here in San Diego. See how it goes. Yeah, so that kind of catches you up on a little bit of my travels this past month. And yeah, let me cut out to the outro, see what's next. All right, so typical shenanigans, some hitchhiking, a little bit of train and bus in there. You know, it's been a good time. Not too bad. Oh, I forgot to mention, I spent one night here in San Diego at the casino, because I got one free night here, actually in a Valley Center. So like a $2 bus ride north. Takes like 2 hours and a few transfers. But anyways, that was fine. I made over $100. Stayed there for the night for free. Got some free chicken. So that was pretty good. Got a little bit of beer money in my pocket. Not too bad. So yeah, as I mentioned in the beginning, and if you've been listening for a while, Trip Hopping Collective, that's what's coming up. So that's the Mish. Yeah, should be able to hitchhike there in a day. Usually I'm able to. Always the trickiest part is just getting out of the little bit of the city area that I'm in now. And yeah, it'll be basically a full month of just trip hopping. There's going to be one little weekend in between in the middle of October, I think around the 17th, where my friend Molly, who I've hitchhiked with and had on the podcast before, she's got some property up on Interstate 40, not super far from Flagstaff, but she's having this gathering up there, which should be pretty cool. Just a bunch of people coming over there. It's like a bunch of weed food, eating and camping, and probably yoga stuff. And I don't know, should be good times. So I'm gonna go up there one of those weekends to enjoy that. Maybe help out a bit, I don't know. But other than that, yeah, it's a lot of trip hopping, coding, and once again, if you're interested and you got something in particular you want to help out with, yeah, just reach out, kenflannery@triphopping.com. It's probably the best way. And if you'd like to help out, that'd be cool. Or drop in, have a beer, say what's up. Phoenix, Arizona. So that's what's next. Should be awesome. I'm excited. I think trip hopping's gonna blow up a little bit after this. Should be cool. Get the iPhone app running, get a little bit more awareness out there. It's kind of crazy. I'm not super good at like promotion or anything like that. And trip hopping is the best transportation search engine in the world right now. I mean, and nobody knows about it. It's crazy. It's crazy to have built something that works so well. And yeah, I don't know, got to get the word out. So hoping a few people that are contributing in October are better at that than I am. And we'll get the word out and yeah, get a bunch of people traveling and having fun. All right, well, that's it. Hope you guys are all doing awesome, kicking ass. Triphopping.com if you want to, sign up for free and check that out. And happy days. I will see you down the road.
To hell with plans I made, I need a new escape. With all my shit straight, I'll get my big brain.